This TV program is intended for educational and awareness purposes only and solely as a self-help tool for your own use. The information provided in or through this TV program is in no way intended to be a substitute for the professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment provided by your own medical provider or mental health provider. You agree and acknowledge that Joy Unleashed International TV hosts and guests are not providing medical advice, mental health advice, or religious advice in any way. Always seek the advice of your own medical provider and or mental health provider regarding any questions or concerns that you might have to pertain to your own mental health.
Choosing to distinguish our strengths, our flukes, our weaknesses, and our individuality is the perfect gift we can give to the world. So, why don't we step into becoming the best version of ourselves? It doesn't matter what problems we are dealing, but the way we are dealing can significantly make a difference. The book intends to bring awareness to people on rediscovering themselves and aims to teach coping mechanisms to help them live a life without anxiety and depression. Based on the author's real-life story, the book will guide readers on the journey of understanding and rediscovering self and the freedom that comes with it. Grab your copies now.
Ang programang ito ay hatid sa inyo ng Action Honda, where car ownership is made easy. Located at 4334 Kingston Road, Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
Come to Action Honda. Whether bibili ka o hindi, it's always a pleasure to talk sa kababayan. Mabuhay!
Great car deals in action. Your Filipino friends ready at your service. Test drive at Action Honda today.
From the author of the book Joy Unveiled, Unraveling the Key to Happiness, comes a radio show that talks about mental health awareness and balanced lifestyle that complements your goals and desires. Welcome to Healthy Mind, Healthy Heart, and You. Your Ate Ruth will simply provide the tools you need. Healthy Mind, Healthy Heart, and You.
Good evening, good morning, Anyong. Aloha, mabuhay. Welcome to your Valentine's special of Joy Unleashed Healthy Hearts and Healthy Minds. It's February 13. And of course, tomorrow or tonight in some parts of the world, it is Valentine's Day, my favorite day of the year. The day that celebrates LOVE big time. And know what? We could really use some loving right now, be it in person or virtual. Virtual hugs to all of you. So let's spread the love to the deemed to be creative, frank, humorous, idealistic, practical, shy, sometimes over-emotional February celebrants. To Mildred Sevilla of Welland, Ontario, Jayla, Miki Palanca of Markham, Lalifinol from Montreal, Philip Duran, Aldro Las Piñas of Philippines, Mona Amin Osman, Esteban Caberte, Rainy Addis, Minnie Lucas, Emel Reyes, Erica Bines, Roland Duran, Martha Bihes, Kendra Kennedy Sutherland, Brenda Lim, Norma Kilau, Paula Vinny of Buffalo, New York, Gabriela Alegres of California, Fatima Toazon, Fabian F.T. Alano, Edith Chin of Atlantic City, Delphina Jamzon, Rena Wardock, Epi Acuzar of Cebu. Hi, Epi. Lourdes Lulu Bernad, Nikki Dumog, Kathy Elkins, and our former ambassador and Aunt Australia Bettingale, happy birthday. A special shout out to all of Halton Region Vaccine Clinic staff who works tirelessly to get everyone vaccinated in Alton. Thank you so very much for all your services. And so to start our Valentine's special, here's Dave Olson and Juiceology's My Funny Valentine.
Valentine, sweet comic Valentine, you make me smile with my heart. Your looks are laughable, unphotographable, yet you're my favorite work of art. It's your figure, lips and green. It's your mouth, a little weird. When you open it to speak, are you smart? That don't change a hair for me. Not if you care for me. Say, little Valentine's Day. Each day is Valentine's Day. Is your figure less than green? Is your mouth a little weak? When you open it to speak, are you smart? But don't change a hair for me. Not if you care for me. Stay, little Valentine's Day. Each day is Valentine's Day. Each day is Valentine's Day.
Oh, do you know that according to a CNN special report, that 50% of relationships are now started online? And I imagine that many people have limited themselves to online dating right now, given the pandemic that's happening. I see that there are some benefits of this long distance or stay safe type of connection. Many people are taking more time to get to know someone before getting involved. And taking your time makes the chance of successful relationship, but no guarantees. However, as relationship can be very complex. In tonight's episode, let us venture into emotions, especially the fear of rejection, the triggers, and how to deal with it. What happens when you hear these words? It's really not you, it's me. Don't you feel shame? Or, sorry, we're not meant to be. Do you feel that sense of unworthiness? Or, I have found someone else, feeling abandoned? Or, same other situation that are subtle yet still evoke same feelings of rejection socially. I recently interviewed a couple of my friends and associates, and this is really what bothers them. These words like, sorry, I can't be with you today because suddenly my boyfriend or girlfriend is here and asked me for a date. So now are you feeling missing out? That's what the FOMO is. Or, oh, I saw your friends at a restaurant today. I thought you said you were supposed to be with them. So now are you feeling left out? Or I got invited to XXX birthday party tonight. Did you get the invite? And now, are you feeling isolated? Ouch, the pain. Napakasakit, Tita Ruthie. Somehow there's those negative and uncomfortable feelings that gets us down. How do you deal with it? Now, past 6 months, and this feeling still lingers. What should you do about it? Left unattended, this fear of rejection can lead to withdrawal and isolation. And it's worse, turn to harmful avoidance strategies. Can you feel that all this can feed devastating feelings of loneliness and emptiness? Like a bad domino effect. The fear of rejection is a powerful fear that often has a far reaching impact in our lives. But for some people, this is crippling. This fear can have many underlying causes. A big part of our fear of rejection may be our fear of experiencing heart and pain. Sino ba naman ang ang sakit talaga. Sakit nandito sa dibdib ko. Sa damdamin ko, Tita Ruthie. Our distaste to unpleasant experiences prompts behaviors that don't serve us. We withdraw from people rather than risking reaching out. We hold back from expressing our authentic feelings because of shame. Nakakahiya, napasit, ayoko masaktan, I don't want to be hurt again. Nowadays, people are isolating more than ever before. And research shows that loneliness can be worse for your physical well-being than smoking. In tonight's episode, let us venture into navigating through these emotions, the triggers, and how to deal with it. Check out the 5 aha moments of joy unveiled. Unraveling the Key to Happiness, for example, that's my book. Instead of looking for love and affirmation outside of ourselves this February, Valentine's, let's focus on embracing our beautifully imperfect selves. We're not perfect, and bandage those emotional wounds that is lingering on or has been lingering for some time. Now, if we get hurt, we get scratched, you put band-aid on it, and it's fine. So when we're emotionally wounded, it's also but natural to put band-aid on it. What are this bandage? Example, when you hear the word, no, this is not working, time to separate ways. What do you feel? How does it feel? Angry? Sad? Do you find yourself suddenly in defensive mode? Does it feels like a knife just stabbed you in the heart? Does your heart beat faster? You feel slightly feverish, sick to the stomach, teary eyes. What would you do with these physical symptoms? Well, if you ask me, I find that deep breathing allows me to come down and get that energy to grasp the situation right before me. Closing my eyes and breathing deeply helps me gain composure. Besides, scientifically, it relaxes your parasympathetic brain. I am not a neuroscientist, and I can only tell you what I know and how I feel. Now, acceptance, the second A moment of Joy Unleashed. That is happening or has happened. Accept that. Things do happen whether you like it or not. That's part of life and part of evolving. Shame, guilt, and this feeling of rejection can often drive us to focus on what we can't do instead of focusing on what we can. When shame and blame does plays in our mind, the only way through this emotional spiral is to accept that it actually is happening or has happened. Go through the process and the cycle of being hurt. It's normal. It's called heartache anyhow. So number 3, yung accountability. So now comes the heartache and the pain. The denial, the sulking, nagtatampo. Hindi ko ma-accept Tita Ruthie. It has been days since the incident happened, yet you are still feeling the pain. Don't you think that instead of reliving the past, it is better to reflect without judgment and stop being critical to yourself? We are only accountable to our own action. So to stop this sort of emotional spiral, learn to ignore the post-failure gut reaction of feeling helpless and demoralized. And make a list of the things you need to do so you can control these feelings of pain. For instance, I think and prepare and plan for the future. How's my travel plans? My to-do list, my art therapy, my music therapy, going biking. When am I going to do it? A list of my new books to read. And how's your sense of humor nowadays? Live, laugh. What are ways to improve the situations? This kind of exercise will reduce feeling of helplessness and improve your chances of future success. Now comes action. Number 4, practice self-love and compassion. It is a skill, and just like any skill, it needs practice and commitment. When you're feeling critical of yourself, think of some exercises. Imagine a dear friend is feeling bad about him or himself or similar reasons. In this case, write an email expressing compassion and support. Then read the email. Those are the messages we like to be giving ourselves. That is self-compassion and self-love. I switch my attention normally to what is in front of me. The smell of the air, the beauty of the sun, the beauty of the sunshine outside, the touch of a dewdrop or the rotten leaves that I see outside, the running squirrels, even the snow, the birds chirping, listening, feeling, seeing. Being surrounded by nature is a cure on its own. And that is if you know how to make use of that atmosphere. So remember, this is a skill. Skill needs practice and commitment. So lastly, acclimation. Over the years, I have learned that beating myself up didn't do much. It only hurt me more, and the wound just got bigger and deeper. I have learned that my experiences are the lens which I have navigated my life. But it did not define me. It became a part of me instead, making me more resilient and strong as I can be. I have learned how to be grateful for being alive, for the chance to love again, fall in love again, being hurt again, laugh and cry, eat and pray. Every step I made was a progress. We put it in daily to make our lives better. So do you know that gratitude is another key to happiness and proven to enhance well-being? Gratitude is a self-act. Its acts are done unconditionally to show to people that they are appreciated, a gift that is freely given to others and to ourselves, of course. So here we go. I had an orchid and I tried to nurture it, and it's my delight that it has bloomed. For the past 2 years, my orchids has bloomed. It's not high maintenance. It was just for me practicing and how to care for it, watering it, no botox, no nothing, just plain commitment and nurturing. So there we go, the 5 aha moments of joy unveiled to handle the fear of rejection. So, as a gift to you tonight, this Valentine's Day, we will be joined by a worldwide relationship expert and coach, author of Canada's best-selling book, Take the Step, The Bridge Will Get There, currently available in Amazon, a professional corporate wellness coach, keynote speaker, a women's retreat facilitator. On top of that, her couples retreat is well sought of, not just here in Canada, but throughout North America, throughout the years and until now. The name Grace Cirocco is not a new voice on radio and television either. With her is a distinction award as broadcast journalist covering Canada's Winter Olympics in 1988, in fact, and has since then been interviewed on national radio and television talk shows, including Voice of America and several magazines. She comes with high accolades and accomplishment that I am so thrilled and honored to have here tonight in our show. But before we stream her in, let us take a commercial break. Commercial break muna.
Are you looking for a place to live stream your next virtual event? MCBN Broadcast Center can help you explore the world of online events. We offer a mid-size green screen room to accommodate your next virtual events, equipped with state-of-the-art broadcast equipment and high-speed fiber internet. Experience a secure and uninterrupted live broadcast during the live stream. MCBN Broadcast Center also offers rental with our own broadcast facility for radio and TV, live streaming programs, and provides you with programming assistance. All these at a reasonable price. Located at 7894 Daffrin Street, Vaughan, Ontario, along Daffrin Street and 407. Give us a call at 905-781-6165 or email us at mcbngroup@gmail.com to book a tour. From the eye clinic that introduces unique, funky, and fashionable eyewear, 7 taon na ang nakakaraan, continues to deliver. Sunny Optical is the one. Patuloy at tuloy-tuloy ang alagang makabayan, serbisyong Canadian. If you're looking for the distinctive, innovative, and coveted frames and sunglasses, Sunny Optical now serves our patrons much better. At dahil may Pinoy optometrist and optician that can speak Tagalog, alam namin ang pangangailangan nyo. 2 locations, 1 vision. They accept direct billing with insurance companies. In Ontario, we are located at First Markham Place, 3255 Highway 7 East, Unit 166. In Thornhill, we are at 1 Promenade Circle, Y007 at TNT Supermarket entrance. Kita-kita na lang kabayan at Sunny Optical. Feel free to contact us, 905-7311-999. Good news for Tagalog-speaking job hunters with good English. Ideal Talents Staffing Solutions is in need of general labor, assembly and packing, shipper, receiver, forklift operator, office plant cleaners, and warehouse cleaners. The said jobs is available in the following areas: Milton, Mississauga, Brampton, Bolton, Barrie, Vaughan, and Scarborough. Get paid weekly. No resume required, no experience required, and it will be just a quick telephone interview. Interested applicants may visit the website idealtalents.ca or call 647-467-5356 or 647-460-5508. Ideal Talents Staffing Solutions. Apply today. Work tomorrow.
Choosing to distinguish our strengths, our flukes, our weaknesses, and our individuality is the perfect gift we can give to the world. So, why don't we step into becoming the best version of ourselves? It doesn't matter what problems we are dealing, but the way we are dealing can significantly make a difference. The book intends to bring awareness to people on rediscovering themselves and aims to teach coping mechanisms to help them live a life without anxiety and depression. Based on the author's real-life story, the book will guide readers on the journey of understanding and rediscovering self and the freedom that comes with it. Grab your copies now.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me stream in to you, Grace Cirocco. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome a relationship coach and guest for tonight. And to you out there who are having some relationship issues, this is the right person to go to. Hello, Grace. How are you?
Hi, Ruth. I'm well. How are you?
I am great out here in Toronto. How's Niagara-on-the-Lake?
It's great. Snowy. It's gorgeous sunshine today. It's a beautiful day.
Yes, I'd just like to let you know, once again, I got married there. That's my favorite place. It's so quaint. And so, especially during Valentine's Day, everything is just everything there, the flowers, the ambience. It's just about it. It's all about love.
Yes, it's a very romantic destination, that's for sure. And it's right next door to Niagara Falls, which is the honeymoon capital of the world. So yeah, this is a place where a lot of couples come.
Yes. Well, thank you. First of all, thank you for gracing us in the show. I'm so overwhelmed actually that when I wrote you, the first thing I saw in the response was, yes, how often can that happen? So I was like, oh my gosh, thank God and thank the universe for all of this happening, especially it's Valentine's Day. So, I love Valentine's Day.
Me too. It's my favorite holiday. It's my favorite holiday. It's all about love. And it's not just romantic love for me. For me, it's love in all forms. It's love for your parents, your friends. I just got something from my friend Joanne this morning. She said, Happy Galentine's. So there's a whole movement now for girlfriend love on Valentine's. And, women are out there doing their thing. They celebrate. Especially if they're single, if they don't have a romantic partner, you can still celebrate love. I love this type of holiday that makes everybody stop and think about the state of their relationships.
So aside from being the bestseller, of course, tell me about yourself. What made you become a relationship coach?
Well, I have been a Dear Abby my whole life. Sometimes it's like a calling. When I was in university and I was in residence at Queen's, I had so many of my girlfriends that had boyfriend troubles, and they would line up outside my door. I had a single room, and they would come in to tell me about their boyfriend troubles, and then I would help them out, and then they would leave. And so I always knew I was going to become someone that gives advice. And I wanted to be a judge. I wanted to be a judge, but family court, law, and being a lawyer first to get to become a judge wasn't palatable to me. I didn't want to go through all that. And then I just thought, okay, psychology. And psychology wasn't what it is today. Today it's based on neuroscience. There's a lot more interesting things happening in psychology. But back then, when I was going through it, it was all about putting people into labels and pathologizing people. And, I still have a problem with the word mental illness. I think there's a very, very small number of the population that actually have a chemical imbalance and they have a problem. The rest of the people, they're fighting their dark night of the soul. They're fighting, grief and sadness and emotions. And what we can't do in this country is deal with our emotions. And I see that every day with my clients. So I just left psychology. I studied philosophy, 5 years of philosophy. And then I found neuro-linguistic programming back then in the 80s, which was really kind of alternative, but I really loved it. And that's the stuff that Anthony Robbins practices, NLP. So I studied that and voraciously. And then I just studied all kinds of things that came my way. So I think today what I would call myself is an energy psychologist. And, I practice trauma techniques, and I help people with their emotions. Sometimes it's completely intuitive, the exercises I come up with to get people to, to kind of cross that river of pain. And it's all about, having somebody who can lead you through that river of pain and getting rid of all the negative toxic emotions. So then what did I do? Then I had a couple of babies. I traveled the world. I have a boy and a girl. And I got a job in the government for a few years. I've always been fascinated with how federal government works. And then I started teaching seminars and workshops quite by chance. They sent me to this workshop one day, and there was a woman at the front of the room, and she was doing this leadership seminar that I was going to. And the whole day there was a fire burning inside of me going, oh, that's what I want to do. That's it. It's not to be a university professor talking about these life issues to 20-year-olds. That's not what I want to do. I want to talk to these middle-aged people that, have lost their way. And I want to talk to them about, Plato and Socrates and what matters most and values. And why do you believe what you believe? And who are you? And the unexamined life is not worth living, and how to become more conscious. And I was lit on fire that day. And then the universe, as you like to say, responded. And I started with an American company who sent me all over the world, 3 continents. And I was teaching the one-day professional personal development seminars. And, I was at the top of my game. I did really, really well. And then I started my own business. And then I was doing corporate training, corporate consulting. And I realized that when people would get me in a corner away from their boss, it was always relationship and personal problems. So then I wrote the book, Take the Step, The Bridge Will Be There, inspiration and guidance for moving your life forward, because I realized that we had a crisis that was either can't take action or we don't believe in ourselves. So
Yes.
Those are 2 wings of an airplane that if you don't have those established and you don't have those healthy, your plane of life won't take flight. You're stuck. You're on the tarmac of your life. You never get what you really, really want.
Yes.
And so then the book became a bestseller, 5 times bestseller in Canada, and it's published around the world. And I still do the one-on-ones with people, especially during the pandemic. I've been very, very busy doing the coaching, the trauma release. There's low-grade trauma, there's high-grade trauma. You don't have to experience a car crash to say you've had trauma. If your
Yes.
partner cheats on you, that's PTSD. That's trauma.
Yes.
And so I do these retreats. I do women's retreats. I do men's retreats because I tend to be very impatient for results. And I find that in retreats with other people there's something like gestalt, something amazing and profound that happens when it's a small group of people and they don't feel like it's just me and them in a room where they've made the mistakes and I'm like the judge telling them what to do. When they're in a room and we're all together, I love group therapy. I love what transpires. I love where I can get people. And so that's a little bit of a quick synopsis, but it really fuels my desires and my passions. And I mean, I have a grandson now. I could retire if I wanted to, but I absolutely love, love, love helping people. And I love helping people when they're at their lowest and they
Yes.
come to me and they tell me their secrets and their pain. And I consider it a real privilege and an honor to be entrusted with their stories and their truth and their pain. So I'll keep doing this work as long as I'm healthy and
Yes.
and that I'm enjoying it. So thanks for having me again today to talk about this, because I don't often get this opportunity. So thank you.
Well, same here. I don't get this opportunity to have someone like you guest in the show. And that for me is something that I will be profoundly grateful to the universe and to you. So, well, back to basic. I love to think about we are all born with the sense of belonging. We need to belong. And this is where the relationship comes into play. So let's talk about emotional literacy. So we talk about emotional quotient. What is this all about? What is your take on this?
Well, here's my take. Since Daniel Goleman wrote the book on emotional intelligence, it has been like quite a revolution. If you put into your Google search emotional intelligence, you're going to get pages and pages and pages. No other theory has had the impact it has had than Daniel Goleman's. And, he got this idea from Howard Gardner from Harvard University, who had written a book about multiple intelligence, because he was tired of people saying that if you don't have math or language intelligence, then you're going to be left behind by the educational system. You're not going to get a job. You're not going to have a career. So he did this, book too, called Multiple Intelligence. And so he said, there's 7 primary intelligences. There's math smarts, obviously. There's language smarts, yes. But there's also music smarts. There's art smarts. There's sports smarts. And then number 5, he said, interpersonal intelligence smarts, relationship with other people. And number 7, intrapersonal intelligence, which is relationship with yourself, which is self-regulation, self-awareness, knowing what's going on inside of you. Socrates said, the unexamined life is not worth living. So then Daniel Goleman took that research that Gardner had done, and he developed the concept of EQ based on intelligence 6, interpersonal intelligence, 7, intrapersonal intelligence. And he created 5 tenets of emotional intelligence. So this is what I know. IQ, smarts, okay, the engineers, the MITs, the profs, the people who are like the geniuses, it's going to make you a lot of money, okay? Look at the founder of Facebook, okay, founder of Google, lots of smarts. So it's going to make you a lot of money. So it's this brain, it's cognitive brain, but it's the emotional brain, which is the oldest part of the brain, which is the limbic part of the brain. This is emotional smarts. And this is the brain that research has found makes you happy, makes you fulfilled. And so there's a lot of rich people out there that show up at my retreats, okay, because they have relationship failure, either with their children, their parents, or their spouse. When they're on their 3rd partner, their 3rd marriage, then they come and see me and saying, I thought I was a success. That's because they have IQ, they don't have EQ.
Yes, you can be very rich, but you can also report to a manager who's got a better EQ. You can have IQ, but you'll be reporting someone who has EQ. That's most of the leadership has right now. They've got that
because IQ will get you hired.
Yes.
EQ will get you promoted.
Yes.
EQ is your ability to develop positive relationships, how to get things done through other people. And that's EQ. You can't bully people. You can't bulldoze people. You've got to have a way. Same thing at home. You've got to have a way with your children. You've got to have a way with your spouse. You can't bulldoze them.
Yes. And you learn that through experience. I always so believe in you navigate your life based on your experiences, but it does not define you. What defines you is the relationship, the connection you have from one another, from now, as you face through moving on. So some of my clients would actually, how do you deal with rejection? How do you deal with self-criticism, How do you deal with all this stuff? Well, it starts in your brain. The part of your brain that tells you who you are, and that's your limbic brain. Your emotion, when you let emotional brain controls you, that's it for you. You're in big trouble, so you better know how to regulate those emotions. And I find that really fascinating. But back to you. You have been a relationship coach, and I saw that you had some very successful couples retreat. It's Valentine's Day. Why do you think couple retreat is very important?
People come for 3 reasons, okay? They come to my intensive retreat in Niagara-on-the-Lake for 3 reasons. Number 1, they come because the largest number now, it seems, because I've been doing this now for probably 15 years, and over 3,000 couples have graduated from my program. So it's kind of out there, and anybody and everybody, like famous people have come, doctors, lawyers, judges have come, psychiatrists have come, therapists have come, you name it, truckers have come. Construction people have come. So everyone has this thing that makes us unique. We have a desire to be loved, and we want love. Okay. So people who come, the greatest number is right now, it's people who are looking for clarity. They're on the relationship fence. They have to decide, am I in, am I out? And they've been on this fence for a long time. It's draining them, just draining them. But they have a business together. They have children together. They have a home together. They have identity. After many years, you have an identity as a couple. So you have like a couple of friends, and you have families and in-laws. And it's really hard to kind of cut that up. So people saying, you know, it's just time. I want to start fresh. I need clarity. Second reason why people come, these are the people who love therapy. They love learning. They love personal growth. And they go, honey, I think we can be better. They go, you know, we have a few communication kind of pit holes, or like, you know, roadblocks. Let's go and learn before the problem before I really hate you. Like before it gets really out of hand. You know, we have a few bumps and bruises. We have some healing that we have to do from the past. We've been together, you know, over 10 years. And sometimes people come to me and they're not even married. They've just been living together with a blended family. And they love each other, but they can't make the blended family work. And it's just too difficult. Some people give this as a gift to their kids who are engaged. Sometimes it's the kids who give it to their parents for an anniversary gift, because they're sick and tired of hearing their parents fighting.
That's good.
So that's the second reason. And the third reason why people come is they have decided that the relationship is over. They are looking for closure. I call this a spiritual divorce. And so you can't get to that place of, you know, untangling yourself, detangling yourself, uncoupling, until you can get to a place of acceptance. And that maybe, you know, you've reached your expiration date, and that's okay, but you've tried everything, and you want to co-parent at a high frequency, which means you don't want to spew hatred and negativity to the children about the other partner, because it only, you know, it only hurts the kids. And so those people come and they go, Grace, we're not looking to get back together. We're looking for peace and closure and co-parenting. And also, they want to learn about themselves, what they need, because they're going to be shopping for a new partner someday. Yes. And they don't want to make the same mistakes. They want a hybrid relationship. They want to find someone that more is compatible and that they don't make the mistakes, right? The person we attract at 20 or age 16 is going to be very different than the person we attract at 40.
Yes. Okay.
And so those are three reasons why people might need a couples retreat and why people invest in their relationship. The average divorce in Canada is $50,000 for getting divorced. So spending a couple of $1,000s to kind of, you know, shore up the strength, you know, the cathedral, if you look at marriage as a cathedral, it's like you're looking around, you're doing the gardening, you're making sure that everything is working, you know, all the systems are in place so that you can deal with whatever's coming, like teenage years. You can deal with unemployment. You can deal with the death of a loved one. You can deal with the stressors of life. And so there's people who just want to kind of get stronger and more committed and more connected.
Oh my gosh, I love this talk with you. And, you know, I find that during this pandemic, actually, we've had a lot of divorce, a lot of marital issues. And this is unprecedented. Like the numbers out there, the stats of divorces and ongoing separations is just enormous. And this is why this episode is very important to me, because I've got a lot of girlfriends that's going through this, and some of them are now trying to redefine their life as if, you know, they're 16 again, they're 18 again. Some of them are in the process of, how am I going to get through this divorce, or should I go through the divorce? And I normally would tell them, just wait a while, you know, because during the pandemic, your brain is in a shelter mode. It's something
it's in hijack. Yeah.
Yes. So something that there's a lot of factors to consider at this time. So What is your take on with with pandemic and marriage?
Well, it's true. People have been coming out of the woodwork. Clients I worked with years ago, seek me out and say we're having a hard time. So one of the reasons why is because children were at home and one of the spouses was responsible for the education and to help the kids learn online. And it usually fell on the back of one of the partners, okay? Usually the woman. And there was resentment about that. That was one issue, is kids were home. The other issue is both partners are now working from home. Some people have a house that's big enough and you can spread out, and some people no. They're all on the kitchen table. And I don't know if you remember early on in 2020 where there's this guy who's being interviewed by the UN, and it was like a really big job, and he had the suit and the tie, and then the door behind him opens. Yes. And the little child comes in, and then mommy comes in, and she's like trying to take the child. So like trying to work at home and kind of maintain that, wall of professionalism is really difficult when, your kids are coming at you and you're at home. And the third reason is, and this has happened quite a bit, is that there's a division in what the couples believe in. So one person is on the internet reading about all the conspiracy theories. The other partner's like, you're crazy. And they're ending up having a lot of conflict. One person wants to vaccinate. One person says, no, I don't want to. How do you live in a home? How do you make decisions on parenting when you have fundamental different views? This is what the pandemic has accelerated. So marriage stress and marriage strife has accelerated because there is just so much opposition and a diversity of opinion.
Wow. Yes, that is so true. I do so believe on that too, because myself, there was a point in my life where I date with my husband in the fridge. Like when I open the door, that's how we see each other. I'm up there in my room working. He's out there in the office working. My children working in the rooms. We have some sort of like privacy just in each room, and we see each other either on the dining table. Even the kitchen is taken too. But that was life. And life nowadays, that's norms. So imagine this newly married couples or couples who've got 5 or 6 years old kids dealing with this at the same time with their new careers. They're just in the peak, like they're starting out actually with their careers, and these things happen. It's a little bit overwhelming.
It is.
So that's why we need some emotional intelligence. So, we don't have a lot of time, but it really interests me, this topic about dating. A lot of my friends, especially at work, some of them are really young, and they were telling me that, Ruth, we have no relationship right now because I broke up with my boyfriend when I was in high school, and now I'm in university. It's so hard for me to find people out there, or new person to trust, because it's all virtual. We don't know exactly what's happening. So for you though, I'm going to ask you, what are your tips about dating?
Well, I'm not a dating coach. So I think it's a very different thing. Like, I'm a healer. Like, I'm helping people navigate their difficulties, and I'm there to help them, stick with the person they have and not to give up. And like I say, stand in the fire with them. When they come to my couples retreat, I say, this is not going to be easy. So are you going to have the courage to stand in the fire and listen to your partner's pain? Because we get really uncomfortable. We don't want to listen to their pain because immediately our back is up and we feel blamed. And no, they have a right to their feelings. So I do a lot of high-fiving. You have a right to your feelings. You have a right to your feelings. Every time I high-five and I put a thought in their mind, I'm changing the limbic brain, right? So in terms of going out there to find new love and dating tips, I do some coaching one-on-one with people. So that's really not my focus. I think there's a lot of duplicity. There's a lot of lying today in people who present themselves. There is this buffet of people out there. There's so many dating sites. And I just have friends and I have clients who have gone through this. And some people are very lucky and they find their match. So I'm very hopeful. I'm not a skeptic. I think you can find love on the internet. I'm very hopeful because I've seen it. And other people, oh my gosh, it's a dating roulette. And they end up feeling worse and worse. They go for the Botox injections. They try to look good. They, make themselves feel good. And then it's rejection. It's rejection.
Yes.
Oh, this person's not right for this reason. This person has this secret. And this person's too religious. This person wants my money. This person won't accept my kids. This person wants to move to Timbuktu. Just because you really are into someone, I always say, this is the holiday of love. But to make a relationship work, the practical day-to-day of a relationship, you need more than love. It's not just love. Love, that's why affairs are so intoxicating, because it's just love.
Emotion.
Like no worries. No, you don't have to take the garbage out. You don't have to deal with screaming children. You don't have to deal with the dog that just dropped a nice big doodle in the middle of the kitchen floor. You don't have to deal with any of that because it's just romantic love.
Yes.
And you're swept away. You meet your lover in exotic locales. It's just love. And that's not real life. So I always say, don't you jump in and try to live with this person. People today are moving in way too quickly.
Yes.
It's just like, oh, I love you. Let's move in. No, you've got 2 children. I've got 2 children. How is this going to work? And whose house are we going to live in? Or should we sell both of our houses and start something new, fresh energy? Those are the types of questions that before they get together, they need a professional. They need someone to guide them and navigate and ask the important questions. I'm dealing with a couple right now who's been together 5 years and they did it all wrong, but they really love each other. And it breaks my heart. They love each other, but they did it all wrong. They made all the mistakes. And so now, do you end it and move on, but my heart is bleeding? Or do I go backwards and try to fix the structure and the practicalities of the blended family and who pays for what, and no assumptions, no resentments?
The reality sinks in. That's about the reality. Sometimes your expectation is out there. The reality is out here. So something has got to give. Either you meet with your reality. What is the real? Where are you right now? What is real? What's happening in your life right now out there in your home? There's something that you need to deal with, and that requires skill. And skill requires learning, practice, commitment. Really, I believe in that commitment to learn and to work in a relationship and then just give in. It's so easy to just say, I'm out of it.
Yes.
I am now going to start with it.
My dating tips would be anybody out there right now looking for love. They need to write down. They need to physically write down, what is my vision of day-to-day life with this person? What's my vision? And what do I want? Make a list of your qualities that are non-negotiable. Okay. Wow. And you make a list of that, and then you know what your vision is. What's my day-to-day? We wake up, we have coffee together, we read the newspaper, or we go for a walk together, or we're having adventure, or we're having wild sex, or what is your vision? Because then when you're out on a date with this person, you've got to talk about your vision and see whether their vision is similar to yours.
Yes, that would be an easier life.
Because just because someone's fun to talk to and it's like, oh yeah, there's some great sexual energy here. Oh wow, I'm just loving it, this conversation. That's not enough. If you're looking for long-lasting love, that's not enough. There's plenty of those people out there.
Yes.
But their vision has to match your vision of everyday life. How are we sharing our lives every day? If you've got a person who absolutely hates getting on an airplane, hates travel, and they're a homebody, and you are this adventure-seeking, love-traveling person, and that's your vision, that you're traveling 4 or 5 times a year, you've got to come clean with that person right off the dot. Do not sell yourself short. And say, oh, that's okay. I'll change them. I'll work on them. I'll change them. That's never going to work.
So I always say, you can't change a person, you can only change yourself. So but it comes with experience, comes with learning, comes with expertise, and everything about life is about learning process. But Grace, thank you so very much. We have a bit of I wish we had an hour. For last thing I'm going to ask you is, where can we find you, and what is your projects? Do you have any retreat coming up in your website? Can you tell us about your website?
Thank you so much. Very gracious of you. My website is my name, gracecirocco.com, and Cirocco is with a C, Cirocco. You can also just Google couples retreats in Niagara, and I'm the only person doing them. I have a retreat February 25, 27, that weekend. Because of the pandemic, everything got pushed back, and there was people who had been signed up, and so I've moved them. I have one in March, there's one in April, one in May. And so there's one almost every month because the demand is there, and as long as people want help, I'm happy to help them. The retreats are intense, they're fast, you need clarity, you're in crisis. This is what you need. This is what you will enjoy. People have said to me that it's way better than the best vacation that they ever took.
Yes.
So it really lands on people really well. They love it. They love it, love it, love it. I'm just amazed by what happens, the 180 that happens. I also do women's retreats once or twice a year. The next one is in September, and that is an opportunity to deal with your own belief systems, your confidence levels, your emotional pollution from childhood. If you have childhood issues, it's all dealing with mom and dad, or who, maybe an ex, or maybe someone you lost and you have bottled up grief. So anytime, like when your life is stuck and it's not working. So I have men's retreats, I have women's retreats, one a year, but right now the demand seems to be relationships. I have a relationship book coming out called The Grace Fix, and that's going to be coming out. It's almost finished. We're just polishing it up and editing process now, and it's going to be out soon. And that's my relationship book. They can also read my best-selling book published by HarperCollins called Take the Step, The Bridge Will Be There, and that's available wherever books are sold. It's available online, Amazon. What other projects? And then I do the one-on-one coaching. I just help people every day. I've always got 3 to 5 hours a day of coaching that I do every day. And I love it.
Grace, you can't retire, Don't think about retiring, because you are needed. What you do is something that
I love it.
People.
Sometimes I wish I were 20 years younger, and not because I'm not happy with who I am, but because I just think, if I was 20 years younger, I'd have so many more people I could help. I'd have so much more energy, and I could do this for longer, because I know that I'm getting older and older, and there'll be at some point where I can't do this anymore. So whenever I want to be younger, it's because I want to help more people.
Oh my gosh, I really am thankful. I have no time again. Running out of time. I always do this. I'm running out of time. So anyhow, thank you again for gracing us in your show. And a lot of people, I know a lot of the audience out there worldwide can benefit on this. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, gracecirocco.com.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks for having me. Happy Valentine's Day.
Yes, you too, and to your family.
Thanks.
Thank you. So that was Grace Cirocco. Thank you again, Grace of Niagara on the Lake. So here we go again. As we end tonight's show, let me do my final shout out to all the couples celebrating their anniversaries this month of February. Keep the fire burning, and wishing you all a happy Hearts Day. Go spread the love and kindness to everyone, but most especially to yourself. Learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all. Have a great Super Bowl Sunday. And finally, let me congratulate our very own Dee Daniels. Dee Daniels for her album, The Promise, which is currently vying for the Album of the Year Award 2022. Thank you, Dee. And by the way, folks, we have until March 6th to get the Album of the Year going. For these, simply visit popawards.com 2022 and vote for Dee Daniels. Until our next episode, hanggang sa muli, this is your Tita Ruth Teresa of Joy Unleashed, Healthy Hearts and Healthy Minds, here at MCBN Pinoy Radio TV. Let's hear it from Dee Daniels and her song, Dance With Me. Happy Valentine's.
Can I get a witness? Can I get a witness? Can I get a hallelujah? Hallelujah. Can I get a witness? Can I get a witness? Can I get a hallelujah? Hallelujah.
Dance with me, my brothers and sisters. Dance with me in praise unto the Lord our God. Let the rhythm guide you. Feel it deep inside you. When you dance before Him, love flows through your veins like holy fire. Oh.
Can I get a witness? Can I get a witness? Can I get a hallelujah? Hallelujah.
I've got to get up to express just how my life has been so very blessed. With so much gratitude inside, I want to move, I want to climb and dance before my Lord. Don't need a fancy dance floor when the spirit of love fills every pore. For when we move, we are set free, and the rhythm and melody put the world in harmony.
Come dance with me.
Come dance with me.
Dance with me.
Come dance with me.
Dance and see.
Together, love is alive. Oh, it's alive. Come on and dance with me. Love is alive. David danced before the Lord with all his might. It opened up his heart to see the light. It turned his weeping to laughter and his sorrow to rapture when he danced the dance of love. Let's dance all through the night into the early morning light. It's in the spirit I want to be. Love is alive in you and me when we dance the dance of love.
Dance with me.
Come dance with me.
Dance with me.
Come dance with me.
Dance and see.
Together, love is alive. Oh, talking about love, love is alive. Come on and dance with me. Give praise to the Lord. Dance with me. Dance. Come on and dance with me. Come on and dance. I'm gonna praise the Lord, give praise unto my Lord. Yes. Come on and dance, 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 dance for the Lord.
what's trending, what's viral. Here we ask what's fresh in the entertainment scene, the latest innovations in science and inventions in the medical field. What's fresh on the planet? Next big thing, NBT.